Today I decided to wander down one of Puerto Vallarta's most underrated treasures, Calle Guadalupe Sánchez. It's only about 0.8 kilometers or 0.5 miles long, but every step feels like its own little chapter in the story of the city. Calle Guadalupe Sánchez is famous for all its restaurants, including Peru here, Café des Artistes, and Pipis, plus all the smaller establishments you'll find along the route. But his biggest claim to fame are all the art galleries and street art. For this walk, I'll start at Calle Aldama and then proceed down Calle Guadalupe Sánchez until its end, which is at Argentina. As soon as I step onto the street, the cobblestones guide me forward and the city seems to quiet down. The air changes. It becomes that perfect mix of ocean breezes and the faint smell of coffee drifting from the nearby cafés and homes. Almost immediately, the art begins because Calle Guadalupe Sánchez is Puerto Vallarta's hidden art corridor. Especially on Wednesday nights between 6 and 10 when all the art galleries extend their hours and are open for people to come in and check out what they have to offer. When you walk down Calle Guadalupe Sánchez, checking out all the architecture and searching for those art galleries, you need to also be aware of all the street art. It is just unbelievably magical. Bright murals from the walls near the first intersection, children painted in surreal colors, giant insects, spiritual symbols, and vibrant patterns, all created by local and visiting artists. It feels like walking through an open-air gallery that keeps surprising you with every turn. As I continue my walk, the architecture tells its own story. Restored colonial houses sit beside modern galleries, balconies draped in vines overlooking bright turquoise doors. If you come here at night, you'll see street lamps casting warm shadows on textured walls. Every building feels like it has lived a long life and still has something to say. Along the way, restaurants, street carts, and small cafes fill the air with scents of grilled seafood, fresh pastries, and rich espresso. Locals chat outside doorways, artists wander the streets, and the gentle hum of the city reminds you that this street may be quiet, but it is very much alive. About halfway down the street is where you'll find most of the art galleries on Guadalupe Sánchez, but don't forget to look down some of the side streets because there's many galleries there as well. This here is Si Senor, one of my favorite restaurants serving Mexican food. I love the decor, it's pretty eclectic, and I love this mural here as well. Now, if you look to the right here, you'll see that the street actually ends and becomes a walkway, and that's because the elevation change here is so steep they just can't make it a road. But the beautiful walkways are well worth a little side visit, I guess, or excursion. Take a walk up to the next street and come on back down the same stairs or different stairs at the next intersection. Now, if you look to your left, which is west, you'll see the Malecon 3 blocks down, and you can spot some of the sculptures that they have mounted along it. Up next on our left is a series of fine art shops, and then on our right, one of the most popular and famous restaurants in all of Puerto Vallarta, and it's called Café des Artistes. If you like sitting in a garden-like setting and with fine food and great wines, and that's one of the places we highly recommend. And right across from Café des Artistes is one of my favorite art studios, and that is the Galerie des Artistes. They do these amazing sculptures. We're just going to peek in the window here so you can see them. Some of them are quite large, but they're so interesting, being all twisted in these contorted shapes. Just unbelievable. We also have a variety of very interesting paintings. Like I said, it's one of my favorite art places to go into and just browse and get inspired. I wish I had the talent to be an artist, but unfortunately I don't. But I really do like going into these art galleries. And as we said earlier, if you have a chance, Wednesday evening between 6 and 10 when they hold the art walk is the greatest or best time to come and visit these galleries. They're often well lit, have people there who'll explain the art, sometimes the artists themselves, and then there's always some music. And on the right here, this again is Café des Artistes, and another walkway that you can explore up to our right, and down the street there you can see at the end the Malecon itself. Again, more art studios here. This particular area of the street has the highest concentration of the art galleries. On the right-hand corner, you're going to find Gallery Corsica. It stands out like an elegant guardian of creativity. Its windows are filled with striking bronze sculptures and modern Mexican paintings that make you slow down whether you're planned to or not. There's a certain quiet sophistication here, the kind of place that invites you to reflect, admire, and get lost in the imagination. Following the Corsica Gallery on the right-hand side, you're going to find some fine art jewelry, and a lot of people actually like to go there because I have some very unique pieces. But up on the next intersection is one of the most popular restaurants in all of Puerto Vallarta, especially if you want to have a lot of fun, and that's called Pepe's. And Pepe's is a Mexican restaurant. They like to party there. They have lots of room on the inside for large groups, and highly recommended, especially if you're celebrating a birthday, because they'll put a big sombrero on your party member, sing happy birthday to you, and also give you a shot of tequila. The food's excellent and the prices are really reasonable, and the drinks such as margaritas are some of the largest that you're going to find in the city. Also, the decor is fantastic, and they also have a roving band of musicians, and they make tableside guacamole and salsas. Just really hard to beat for a very, very reasonable price. And like I said, the big thing there is its party-like atmosphere. Just fun to be with, especially with if you're with a large group. Now we're going to proceed to the next corner where you're going to find a very interesting art gallery. It's called Collectica. What I like about it is that it's very different than the other art gallery. It's really a series of contemporary folk art rooted in ancestral Mexican traditions that really invite you to come in and look. And its walls on the outside have these tremendous murals. They're actually beautiful just to see themselves. It's also part of the art walk, so you can come in at any time though and just check out what this particular gallery has to offer. If you do decide to step inside Collectica, you're going to see sculptures and paintings that look alive, jaguar spirits, mythical creatures, bold colors, intricate details. It's an art gallery with folk art and indigenous art, just so different than many of the other stores around the city. I really enjoy coming into Collectica, one of the best places to visit, and as I said, this particular mural on the outside is just really, really interesting to see as well. It's a big, bright art piece. I'm not exactly sure what it would be or how you would describe it, other than it seems like an indigenous artist painting. It's just a fun thing to see and experience. Next up on the right-hand side, you're going to see a little tortilla manufacturing place just to my right. And if you have a chance, check out how they make tortillas here with these machines. You often hear them before you see them. Here again is some of the local architecture here. I love these arch windows. And now at the bottom of this hill, we're going to come to the intersection of 31 Octubre. If you go to the left, you're going to run into the start of the Malecón, or I should say what was once the start of the Malecón. That's where a large centennial statue is located, as well as a McDonald's. But it is traditionally the start of the Malecón, but they're currently extending this in 2025, and they're going to add another block to it. And to your right, if you go down that particular street, or I should say up that street a block or so, you're going to find another great restaurant, and that restaurant is called Barcelona Tapas, very famous for tapas and also its Spanish cuisine such as paella. Great place to go in as well. So just about a block up on my right-hand side here. This particular area of Guadalupe Sánchez, or Calle Guadalupe Sánchez, is under a lot of construction. There's a lot of new condominiums being built, like the one on my left-hand side, just being finished up, and there's lots of units for sale. But now we're approaching the last particular block on the street itself. There's a couple of small restaurants here on the right-hand side, but at the very end, there is a coffee shop. So if you want to sit down and grab a little beverage, or if you want to grab some lunch, there is one of my favorite taco stands there called Bicho, and I'll show you that right at the end of the video here. So right now you've got some interesting architecture. It's mostly streetscapes. One of my favorite places to look at is this one over here, because they have this very beautiful bright bougainvillea. It's poking above their doorway. I've always enjoyed walking past it, and it always seems to be in bloom. Anyways, we'll move on right to the end of the street here, and I'll show you my favorite taco stand. And they make seafood tacos. It's called Bichu, and the people who run it are just absolutely delightful. And if you have a chance to try some of the best seafood tacos in Puerto Vallarta, I highly recommend that you check them out. So by the time I reached the end of Calle Guadalupe Sánchez, the entire walk has felt like a journey through Puerto Vallarta's artistic soul. It's just not a street, it's a living canvas, a cultural heartbeat, a place where tradition and creativity meet in the most beautiful of ways. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe.